Today it's the Ampero II by Hotone and how it saved me a whole bunch of money, and it might save you some money as well. Hello and welcome to another video with me, Elmo J. Karjalainen. It's good to have you along. So I'm going to be playing the Ampero II by Hotone, give you some presets, a general idea of what it sounds like, plus a few sounds that I've programmed in it as well. And then maybe you'll save some money. Hopefully with this video. The whole point of this channel is to try to help you either by inspiring you or in some other way, maybe save money. So let's do some sounds first. First I'll do just the regular stuff from the from the Ampero presets that have been programmed by the good folks at Hotone. So this is how you change banks on it. You press two buttons at the same time and you go to the next bank. This one is called Juicy Fusion. Gentle dumbbell. Now you can run this either in patch mode or stomp mode, and it has a whole bunch of different amps and pedals and cabs and effects in it. More than I'll ever need. Basic clean. Brown sugar. Get funky. Whoops. Prague shredder. However that goes. Yeah, that's the one. I think. Modern crisp. Seems a bit quiet. Simple is good. Sometimes it is. Hot Rod 800. Plexi Bluesman. Plexi. So vintage jazz. Welcome to Jazz Club. Nice. Psycho Stoner. Before I keep going, I would like to say that this video is sponsored by the good people over on Patreon who support this channel because I buy the gear that I review, so you get an honest review. If you want to check out my Patreon and support this channel, then there's a link in the description. You get access to all my music lessons, a bunch of exclusives such as ad-free versions of these YouTube videos. So yeah, please check that out. On with the video. What I've done here is I've created 3 sounds. One is just a basic clean, sounds like this. A crunch. And what would be my kind of go-to sound? Right, so how did this save me money? Because I paid 466 euros for it. It saved me money in that I decided to try one out because I got the Hotone Pulse, the practice amp, and I really liked that. But then I realized that when I did my 3 favorite practice amps ever video, which featured the Pulse, the Spark Mini and the Microcube, I realized I'm not keeping the Pulse because it costs so much, and I'm perfectly fine with the Spark Mini and the Microcube. So I sold that, but bought this, just to try it out, because I got to thinking, I have a quad cortex that I really never use. I've used it basically once per year, I think. The idea with this was to try it and see if it's good enough to compete on some level with the quad cortex. And for me, for my needs, absolutely. It sounds great. I mean, I really do think it does. I compared it with the quad cortex, and the quad cortex sounded different. I'm not sure it sounded better. You can't capture an amp with this the way you can with the quad cortex. It's more limited, all that, I get that, but I don't need anything fancy. And so I sold my quad cortex and kept this. And that's what saved me a bunch of money. And here we get to, I think this is something I realized, and I don't know, I'm putting this out there and you can make what you want of it. I realized that I'd lost a bunch of money on the first Axe FX and Axe FX2, the XL, because Fractal Audio released new versions and the old versions plummeted in price, which is natural because it's digital gear and It's like a car, you drive it out of the shop and the value goes but with each new release model, that is. And I had the Quad Cortex for ages, didn't really use it that much, and suddenly I realized they might release a new version whenever, I don't know, might be tomorrow, might be in 10 years time, I'm not sure. But at some point they will release a new version probably, and that will mean that the Quad Cortex will plummet in price. And I really asked myself, do I really need the Quad Cortex? And the resounding answer was no, I do not need it. I want it because it has more features than this, but I can absolutely get by with this. And that's it, really. I think the Ampero II sounds great. It's way cheaper. It will plummet in price as well, but a plummet in price from 466 is not a huge deal, even if it would plummet 50%. So there's something for you to think about. If you own something like a Kemper Quad Cortex or an Axe-FX or something like that, do you really need it? I mean, if you're a gigging professional musician, you might need it. But do you really? Something for you to think about. And if you don't need it and you manage to save some money by selling that and buying something else, not necessarily this, I mean, there are a bunch of competing products that are probably just as good, then I will have, or this video will have served its purpose. Yeah, so I think this thing is great, seems simple enough to use, and I'm keeping it. If you want to watch a video of the top 10 guitar practice amps in the world ever, that's here. Other than that, I hope you support the channel, because I buy the gear that I review, so you get an honest review. And I try to help you people. If you want to support the channel, there are links in the description to different ways you can do that. There's Patreon, there are affiliate links, and there's links to my music. But above all, I hope you had some use of this video, or at least that it kept you entertained. And I hope to see you in another one. Take care. Goodbye.